Hello everyone. In this video, I'll show you how to create and edit local holdings records for serials in MARC21 in Record Manager. You can also create local holdings records in text view, which is a labeled display of the MARC record, but not all of the fields display. So there will likely be times when you may need to view the complete MARC local holdings record to make corrections or edits. So I'll go through the process of creating a local holdings record, showing all of the fields you may need to edit in MARC21 in Record Manager. So let's say I have 2 volumes for the title, European Journal of Public Health, and I want to add them to my collection, and I don't have any holdings for this title yet. I've logged into WMS, and then I'll select Metadata. And then I'm going to click Record Manager. Since I have an ISSN, I'm going to use that to search for a record. I'll leave the record type set to bibliographic records. And I'll leave the search scope set to all WorldCat since I don't have any holdings for this title yet. I'm going to change the index to the ISSN index, and then I'll paste the ISSN in the search box, and then I'll click Search. My search has retrieved 61 results, so the first thing I want to do is refine my search using the facets on the left. I'll select English as the language of the cataloging record, and then I have just 18 records in the results list. I'll also refine this by format, so I'll select Print Journal, and now I have just 7 records. I can see the first title in my results list is a PCC, or Program for Cooperative Cataloging Record. It's a full-level record, so I know the cataloging is complete. If I hover over the blue information icon, I can see some of the bibliographic information for this record. To view the full record, I'll click the title. To get started adding my holdings for the 2 volumes I have, I'll go to the record menu at the top, and then on the LHR submenu, I'll select Derive. This will allow me to create an LHR in MARC21 view. For the 000, which is the leader, I'll click on the arrow to expand it. The type of record is already set to Y for serial, which is correct for this title. For encoding level, I'll open the drop-down and select Holdings Level 3 since I'm going to add just the highest level of enumeration and chronology for these 2 volumes. For item information in record, I'll open the drop-down and change this to I. Item information is in the record, because I'm going to add barcodes to these volumes. Then I'll click Done to save my changes. Next, I'll expand the 007. You can leave these set to the defaults, unspecified, or you can code them for the type of material. I'll change category of resource to text, and for the specific material designation, I'll change this from unspecified to regular print. And again, I'll click Done to save my changes. Next, I'll expand the 008. For receipt or acquisition status, I'm going to select Not Currently Received since I don't have a current subscription. I just have these 2 volumes I'm adding. For method of acquisition, I'm going to open the drop-down, and since I received these 2 volumes as a donation, I'll select Gift. And I'll click Done to save my changes for the 008. Next, I'll expand the 852. This is where the location information and call number are entered. For the first indicator, the shelving scheme, I'm going to select Library of Congress classification. For shelving order, I'll leave this set to no information provided. Subfield A in the 852 is my OCLC institution symbol, and this is already populated by the system. The sublocation, Subfield B, is also populated with my default branch or collection location, the main branch. Next, I need to add my shelving location for these volumes. So I'll click the green circle with the plus sign to add a subfield, and then I'll click the drop-down to select the subfield. And I'll select C, shelving location. Then across from that, I'm going to open the drop-down that says Select 1, and I'll select the main periodical shelving location. The classification subfield H and item part or cutter in subfield I has come over from the bibliographic record. Since I'm profiled for Library of Congress classification, the system would first look for a call number in a 090 field of the bib record if I've entered a local LC call number there. If not, it would look in the 050 field of the bib record for an LC call number to populate in the LHR. Next, I'm going to click Done to save my changes to the 852. The next field I want to edit is the 853. This is where the captions for my volumes will go. I'll leave the indicators set at their defaults, which are unknown and unverified. You don't have to code for these. The linking field, subfield 8, is the first subfield and is already populated with a 1. This means that this is the first and likely only 853 that I will have for my captions. Usually you only have one 853 and you would only have a second one if the publication changed the captions for the volumes or issues. For subfield A, the first level of enumeration, I'll add V period for the caption for volume. I'm not going to use second level of enumeration, usually issue or number, for example, since I'm adding complete volumes in this case and recording just the highest level of enumeration, holdings level 3. For the first level of chronology, subfield I, I'll enter the word year, YEAR, in parentheses. I'm using the parentheses so that the word year won't show up in the display in Discovery, but the actual value for the year that I enter will display. I'm not using the second level of chronology since I'm entering only the highest levels of enumeration and chronology, so I'll just leave that blank. Frequency is already populated from the bib record. Then I'll click Done to save my changes to the 853. Next, I'm going to have two 863s, one for each of the volumes that I have. And this is where I'll enter the actual volume numbers and years. I'll click the 863 that's provided in the template to expand it and to start editing it. The first indicator is for the encoding level. And remember, I'm using encoding level 3, highest level of enumeration and chronology. So I'll open the drop-down and select Holdings Level 3. For the second indicator, Form of Holdings, I'll just leave this set to the default, no information provided. The linking field in the 863 is also subfield 8. You can see it's already populated with 1.1. That first one is linking it back to the 853, that is, to the caption field I just created. And the second one is an indication that this is my first 863, or the first volume that I'm adding. For the first level of enumeration, subfield A in the 863, I'll enter the value for my first volume, which in this case is volume 26. I'm not using the second level of enumeration, so I'll leave that blank. For the first level of chronology, subfield I, this is where I'll enter the value for the year for volume 26, which is 2016. And I'm not using the second level of chronology, so I'll also just leave that blank, and then I'll click Done to save my changes. Next, I have to add a second 863 for volume 27. So I'll click the green circle to add a field. And I'll type 863 in the tag box, and then when I click outside of that, you can see the arrow appears, which will allow me to expand it. For the first indicator, encoding level, I'll open the drop-down and again select level 3. For the second indicator, I'll again select no information provided. Next, I need to add subfield 8, which is the field link and sequence number to link this 863 back to my captions field. Subfield 8 should be the first subfield, but I'll move subfield A that was in the template down in a moment. So I'll click the green circle on the right to add a subfield, and then I'll select subfield 8. Since this is my second 863 for the second volume I have, I'll enter 1.2. The 1 is linking this to my 853 caption field, and the 2 indicates this is my second 863. And then I'll use the arrow to the left of the tag to move subfield A down below subfield 8. And then I'll enter the value for subfield A, the first level of enumeration, for my second volume, which is 27. And then I want to add the value for my first level of chronology. So I'll click the green circle to add a subfield. Then I'll click the subfield drop-down and select subfield I, first level of chronology. And I'll enter the value for the year that goes with volume 27, which is 2017. And then I'll click Done to save it. I'm not using 866 since I've added my holdings in the coded pairs. 853 and 863. 866 is the textual holdings field, which is an alternative to the coded pairs. So I'm going to delete the 866 by clicking the red circle. Next, I want to add the barcodes for my 2 volumes, which will go in 876 fields. So I'll click the green circle to add a field. And I'll enter 876 in the tag box. And then I can see the arrow, which I can now click to expand the field. I'll click the Select a Subfield drop-down, and I first need to add subfield 8, the field link and sequence number, which will link the barcode to the correct volume. I'll enter 1.1, which is what I entered for the 863 linking field for volume 26. Next, I want to add the barcode for this volume. So I'll click the subfield drop-down again and select P, piece designation. Then I'll scan the barcode I'm putting on volume 26 and click Done. Then I need to add another 876 for my second volume, so I'll create another field by clicking the green circle. Then I'll enter 876 in the tag box. And then I'll expand the field by clicking the arrow. Then, from the subfield drop-down, I'll select 8 for the linking field and I'll enter 1.2 to link this to my second volume, and then I'll click the subfield drop-down and I'll select subfield P, piece designation. And then I'll scan the barcode that goes on volume 27 and click Done to save my changes. Next, I want to validate the LHR to confirm that I don't have errors in the coding and that required fields and subfields are present. I'll go to the record menu and select Validate. And the system confirms it has validated the LHR. And finally, I'll click Save. WMS libraries will see the option to set the audience level when you first create and save an LHR. My default audience level is all users, which means that there are no restrictions on who can see my holdings in Discovery. Since I have my user preference set to allow overrides, I could change this when creating an LHR to a more restrictive audience, such as my library users, my authenticated users, or my library staff. I'll leave it set to all users, and then I'll click Set. And the system confirms it has saved the LHR. To view this in Discovery, I'll select the record menu, and then I'll select View in Discovery. And Discovery opens in another tab in my browser. You can see the 2 holdings I've added for volume 26 and 27. However, I want to edit the summary statement to indicate the 2 volumes that I have. So I'll go back to the bib record by clicking the link on the local holdings record. And if I scroll all the way to the bottom of the bib record, you can now see the local holdings record for these 2 volumes that I added. To update the summary statement that currently says local holdings available, which is the default, there are 2 options. I can just simply type in the summary line, deleting the current text and typing my summary statement. Or I can use the automated summary service. To do this, I'll click Build Automated Summary. And the system will suggest a summary statement based on the attached local holdings records. The suggested summary reads, Volume 26, 2016 to Volume 27, 2017, and I have to confirm I want to use this summary service. So I'll click Use Summary Service. I can make further edits if needed, and then I'll click Save to save the updates to my summary statement. And the system confirms it has updated the summary data. Now I'll go back to Discovery, and I can see the summary has been updated and displays correctly for volume 26 and 27. If you have questions, you can go to help.oclc.org to find contact information for support in your region. Thanks for watching.